muscle. A hemorrhage is a bleed, right, into a space. So it's going to be a subarachnoid hemorrhage as opposed to hematoma. Okay. Also, that's due to like a berry aneurysm most of the time in the brain, and most of the time it's MCA just due to the anatomy. And they're going to present with the worst headache of their life. So it's sudden onset. They come in, they're like, oh my God, I'm having the worst headache of my life. It's killing me. Like, that's what's going on with that. Okay.
How do you tell on this which way is anterior? Like we don't tell.
Which way is anterior? I mean, you kind of just look at it. So this is, so what is this guy back here? This one. This is a pons, right? It's kind of hard to see. But you can see how this cerebellum looks a little bit different than this adjacent structure. This is cortex, right? So this is the cerebellum in the back. Then you start to see a little guy right here. So this is the fourth ventricle starting to form. So this is the cerebral aqueduct. And then we have pons coming like this. So I highly doubt they would be like, oh, because I mean this is a CT, so you can't really see crap on it. So all you can see is the blood. So they're not going to be like, oh, is this the frontal bone? They're not going to ask you the direction of it.
You can usually see a little bit of that too when it's a pulsar, so you can tell those warning.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So how would this patient present? What happened? Did I skip one? Oh, no. So how would this patient present? Right, so we protrude toward the left, right? Or this is patient's right over here, so we protrude to the right. Okay. So that's completely opposite of what you did in OMN, where you made your little, sacrums, and this side's the right side. No, that's what I always confuse. So this is the patient's right on your left. What?
Can you show the patient's right on the screen? Like where and how it...
Okay, so this is the back of the head would be back here, right? So, but yeah, it doesn't, like, orientation-wise, just remember this is always right. Because if you try to look at this and try to figure out where posterior and what's right and left, it's all in like radiology or in slide sets that they cut, this is always going to be the right side. So if it's a lesion on this right nucleus, just think right-sided. And you're going to see, yeah.
Can we just say ipsilateral contrast?
Yeah, I mean, you can say, yeah. I mean, that's also being specific. You can say ipsilateral deviation.
I thought that whenever it was a slide, it'd be the anatomic vision. Like if it was a radiographic slide,
you might double check. I mean, like I said, I don't. That's how Patnow said. Well, if that's how Patnow said, then that's right. Yeah. So I would look when I do my slides, like go through it and like check to see. But that's where you're safe if you put like ipsilateral versus contralateral. So if you put right or left, you might be wrong. But if you put, oh, it's going to be deviate ipsilaterally, then you're right. Does that make sense? Because it doesn't matter if it's right or left, it's the same sign. So go back and look at that because I don't know. I just always say this way. So what modality or cell column is this? GSE, right? So general somatic efferent. So the four that are general somatic efferent are 3, 4, 6, and 12. Right? So extraocular muscles, 3, 4, 6, and then the tongue, 12. Okay. Everything else is going to be either for the motor component, it's going to be SVE, right? Or for somatic motor function. So what cell column is for SVE? So what cranial nerves? So you have 5, 7, 9, 10, 11, right? So 1, 2, and 8 don't have motor functions, right? You can't move your ear and you can't move your nose, or I think that's like innervating the muscle as opposed to like deep structures. Okay. So where are we at here? What level? This thoracics, right? So thoracic. So what is this guy over here? Right, so this is the lateral corticospinal tract, and so where has it already decussated? Right, so the pyramids of the medulla, okay? And I mean, you could just put pyramidal decussation. Okay, so what is the vascular structure? Basilar artery. All right, structure.
Body and corpus callosum.
I went over that, yeah. Okay, so what is this structure? Medial meniscus, right? So what order of axons are here? Second, right? And where do they synapse? Yeah, on the ipsilateral side. So ipsilateral VPL. Where are the cell bodies of this tract? Cunate and the gracile nucleus of contralateral nucleus, right? Because it's already decussated. Alright, so what is this guy? That's an intermediate. I probably doubt they're going to tag it unless they just want to give you a freebie, but I mean, that's pretty easy. It doesn't have any function, so I doubt they're targeted. Okay, so what motor pathway decussates here? Anterior corticospinal. Okay. The anterior corticospinal. What sensory? ALS. Good. So that's it. If you have questions.